I need to make another video. That's 2 nights in a row where I've suffered severe depression. I don't know where it comes from, but I know every time I go through that, Robbie always seems to pop into my head at that point. And yeah, I gave all the female names, like what I gave them all negative names months ago, and then realized that that's not going to uplift them, so I need to give them positive names. So I thought really like hardly on what their name was, and then I went through all their songs to double check to make sure it's right and how people would see it. But I feel like when it comes to males, they mostly represent not always man, but sort of things of the body, like I get or mind as well, things of the body or mind, or I don't know, but I really don't like man. Like I really hate humans so bloody much that I kind of don't want to have anything to do with them, and that is how I feel. And so when it came to the guy figures, I just wanted to just say the first thing that came into my head, and then try and not ever listen to their songs. But yeah, because twice in a row now I've felt severe depression, and because both times I felt depression, Robbie kept coming into my head. I felt like something was trying to talk to me, and then suddenly something really did start talking to me, and it was very, very loud. And sounded like, the voice was similar to that of Ed Sheeran, and which is strange because I've never had him or thought about him, and I feel like represents a guy with depression. But at the same time, depression comes from thoughts or overthinking or thinking negatively. And usually people think negatively only when their emotions are down, and they're feeling sad. And then I started, I do believe that Robbie is hope, and I've always felt that, because I've always felt that when I'm at my lowest, he gives me hope. And whether there's truth in his songs or not, it doesn't matter. That's personally how I feel about his songs. Okay, sometimes, no, not sometimes. Sometimes when I'm okay, I look at them and I feel depressed, but that's the thing about hope, is that when you're thinking normally and happily, um, you can sometimes be like, is there hope here? I don't know. Like, does hope even exist? But when you're feeling really low, I feel like, I don't know, something could make you smile, or just um, like, I'm loving angels instead. If I was, if it depends on when I saw these things were first. If I would have seen them at a time, if I would have known that that was hope, loving the angels instead is. But the thing is that sometimes, when I actually when the loving the angels song, when I first heard that one, it was when I realized that people were loving the angels, not me. And that's when I heard that song. I heard it ages ago, like for the beginning, but I played or had that song going through my head when I realized that people were loving the angels and not me. And I feel like that was when I inspired that song, because it was actually a way of punishing the world by saying, there's a time where people are going to start loving the angels and only loving the angels, and then there's going to be a point where they realize, oh, we are just loving the angels and we're not actually liking me, or the fact that I don't actually have superpowers, or I do, but not in the way that they'd want me to have it. And also, if they want to get to heaven, I ain't going to get them there because I hate them. But yeah, and then they could watch that song and realize that actually they are loving the angels and not me. And so, even though it's down for me because I wanted him to like me, at the end of the day, if he there's different ways. Like if a human would interpret that song, they might realize that, oh yeah, I have been making a mistake. I have been making the mistake of loving the angels and not me, and then they'll feel bad for doing it. And so I like that. I like that they might come across that song and realize actually it's about them. And therefore, even at the time, even though he said that he prefers the angels, I was feeling some sort of joy from it. And it's so hope is a very confusing one, because there's good and bad in it. But I was always also seeing it from other people's perspective, how they would see it when they come across that song at the stage, you know, if they come across it at the stage when they realize they are loving the angels more than me, you know, that's it, and therefore it's not a bad song. But yeah, I know he's got two takes. He's got a happy take and a sad take, because when they start realizing that they're loving the angels, as I said, then they can look at the sad one and hopefully feel like that, which is feeling sad and shit. But yeah, the Ed Sheeran character is one that when I realised that he generally does represent hope. Like I just said hope before because that's what he gives me whenever I listen to him. That's how I feel. And then I started analysing it, and I was like, yeah, I'm analysing the songs that I've got, and I'm not going to watch the songs. I think I've already inspired them, and I'm pretty sure I inspired them at the time when I was in the past, when at different points. But anyway, but the Ed Sheeran one is thought, and okay, I call him depression, but that's only because I have been feeling emotionally low pretty much the whole 10 years. And when someone who's feeling emotionally low meets thought, it usually always turns into depression. And therefore, every time I listen to his songs, that is why depression is all I feel, because I feel like I have mixed my emotions and how I feel with his thoughts, and all I can hear is depression and low turns and stuff. And but yeah, I I don't know, but I feel like there's a stronger need than ever for him to be happier, because that is the truth about depression, which is that thoughts on its own don't, aren't really that, there's good and bad. You can laugh at bad things and be sad at bad things, but yeah, if thought is mixed with someone who's feeling like shit because they're being bullied by everyone, then that's when it turns into depression. Hence why I've always seen depression and why I've always avoided him. But at the same time, I'm not supposed to avoid thought. I think I haven't avoided thought, but technically there is a voice in my head, but it's usually actually just like a couple of words here and there, like, especially at the beginning. When I found out I was a Leo, that was just things like, she's the next me, which is what I heard about Beyonce, even though it was wrong at the time. I feel like that was just deceptive to get her to write. But I was hearing voices, but it was quite mild in compared to how I'm hearing, how I'm feel or thinking now, or something. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely clearer than ever now, and I feel like it's switched into his voice. But yeah, it was interesting yesterday because I was being really, really negative, and then suddenly the voice came in and just started saying almost the opposite of what I was saying. And then I felt like I was feeling negative because I knew that I needed to go through these songs, and the thought of going through thought songs is depressing.